Hi, everyone. This is Kara Mitchell, Associate Industry Partnerships here at ASID headquarters. Welcome to today's Partner Spotlight webinar brought to you by Benjamin Moore, a strategic industry partner of ASID. The ASID Partner Spotlight webinar series is your opportunity to engage in a product-focused forum with industry experts. The Partner Spotlight webinar series is an ongoing initiative that provides a 30-minute webinar for designers to engage with ASID national industry partners, manufacturers, and industry experts in a virtual setting. After the presentation, there will be a Q&A. As a participant, your audio is not activated. Instead, you can use the questions section on the control panel to the right side of the screen to type in a question, and we will read it to all. Today, we are pleased to have Benjamin Moore here to talk about 2020 color trends. Presenting today is Annie Miranda Summer. Annie is an architectural and design representative for Benjamin Moore, covering the Houston, Louisiana, and Arkansas territories. During her tenure at Benjamin Moore, Annie has played an important role in the development of educational programs pertaining to color and product knowledge. Annie is an allied member of ASID, IIDA, and AIA. And now I'm going to pass it over to Annie to begin the presentation.
Welcome, everyone. Thank you so much for attending. We are going to get started and looking forward to hearing a lot of great questions afterwards. As the color team set out to create a color palette for 2020, the current social climate and how things have evolved or changed over time was a really key top of mind. They all had questions on how they were going to come about this, as always. So what was the next decade going to have in store for us? What have we learned from the past that can help us inform the future? What really matters to people today? How will we carry that into 2020 and beyond? And the dawn of the new decade is a true opportunity for us to pause and consider our values, our priorities, and motivations, but the key drivers in defining our unique path for 2020. Across our generations, we've seen a true change in American dream with American needs or ideas that are interpreted in many ways. After the Great Depression and World War II, the pursuit of happiness hinged on a decent housing, a good job, education, and health care. Later generations followed with the similar priorities around housing, education, health care, and in addition to an interest in consumption. Today, we see a shift in this thinking with a renewed focus on what matters most today and into 2020. Creating meaning is one of life's through experience, connections with others, and contributing to society to make it a better place and have arisen in importance. Throughout the year, the color team at Benjamin Moore conducts research and travels to many places where they are exposed to an array of ideas and colors. The team determines what feels right for 2020 in the color palette and for the color of the year. To guide the color conversation, we identified 10 keywords that you see here that capture the things that truly matter to people regardless of the generation, but put on a specific meaning for individuals. These words challenge us to question not only the past, but also how we want to live in the future. So as you see the words, one of my favorite ones is beauty, creativity, privacy, self-expression, comfort, security, community, imagination, authenticity, and optimism. For 2020, the color team took the needs of today's society into a strong consideration as the colors used to create our surroundings are apt to reflect an optimism look for 2020. To create our annual color trends palette for 2020, we identified 10 colors as well that captured the design sensibility that will set the stage for the next decade. These colors were selected for an ability to complement many designs preferences. Each color is an easy to live with and easy to love, while pointing to a new idealism. Together, these colors exhibit a freshness, an upbeat sensibility, while also demonstrating the ability to serve multiple functions or roles within the home to complement any living arrangements, design aesthetics, and to appeal to all generations. We included colors that could be playful, upbeat, and other colors that feel more serious and traditional. Together, these colors fill many options and complement an array of styles. We also look into considerations of color pairings and how these combinations can be used for different looks in different types of homes, and several of the combinations even monochromatic. Always a great way to create a color flow within one room from another, one space from another. Additionally, we looked into how the colors work together as a standalone or as an overall palette. So as we see here, as the combinations or pairings, we have white heron, OC57 with the golden straw 2152-50. A really nice, light, clean look with white heron, and a cross between a honey and a cream with golden straw. Then First Light having a beautiful, refreshing wash of peach 2102-70 gives a beautiful uplift of color with the neutral that floats between warm and cool with our Gray Thunder AF85. With Crystalline being a beautiful light green, giving an effervescent silvery jade. It invigorates, but then also paired with a gushing green, which looking back, it gives a great reminder on the traditional tone on HC 125. Our playful periwinkle windmill wings 2067-60 with a perfectly faded blue jeans Oxford gray 2128-40 gives that comfort to both of the colors. An easygoing blue-green Buxton blue with HC 149 gives you that beautiful calm blue with a deep, elegant sapphire blue denuded with 2062-30 that elevates for both of them. So as we see here, the color that stood out most symbolic for the most mindset and direction for 2020 is First Light 2120-70. This soft pink represents a new dawn in thinking, a revitalized spirit, a rosy outlook for the decade to come, with an optimistic look on how we live, work, play, and design as we head into the future. First Light is a sophisticated, warm, and appropriate for all seasons and styles. This color has a feminine quality, but it works very well with colors traditionally considered to be masculine. First Light is an ideal backdrop to any room, as it will enhance various textures and materials while bringing a flattering glow to a room. Additionally, this hue works exceptionally well with minimalist interiors with clean lines and incorporating softness that brings a welcoming feel to each room. So as we go through, looking through each of the rooms, beauty, which stands out, with so much of our time centered on the time on the front of the screens and devices, there is a craving for softness and beauty in our lives, with First Light being the perfect hue to express the desire to celebrate beauty in the home. The definition of beauty has never been so diverse, with the meaning of the word becoming something very personal. The home has become a place where we can surround ourselves with beauty infused with quiet simplicity and joy. We've seen neutrals and muted colors dominate the most popular list, with opportunities for deep colors. With the most popular list of opportunities for deeper colors and bold winks of colors to make their way into color schemes over the past year. So for 2020, there's a wash of beautiful, fresh color to complement spaces that are designed with the neutral, deeper colors, and to demonstrate the evolution of color choices that move from year to year.
Annie, I'm going to interrupt for just a second. We're getting a lot of comments that there's loud typing in the background. So I think someone who has...
It's not me.
Yeah, I think that someone who has accessed one of the organizers may be typing in the background. So if you could put your phone on mute, that would be really helpful.
Just keep going.
Go ahead, Annie. Yep, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's great. Thank you so much, Christine. So, and on the next word in describing the beautiful green combination is privacy. The home has become a sanctuary, perhaps more now than ever, with the persuasive threat to our privacy being invaded, whether it's through the digital world that has become so essential in how we function day to day. But there's more than that, just that, with the conversation around the topic, with both an online world and socially making a home a place where we seek to create a private or protected environment. With homes becoming a multifunctional place where we can both live and work, there is an increasing need to maintain our privacy, our spaces that are expected to be that multitask as quickly as we do. So creating that space helps reflect our privacy that are particularly more important. Our color choices can enhance that sensibility, allowing for those spaces to remain private while others are increasingly public and connect to the outside world. So as we see here, a beautiful combination of crystalline AF 485 with a beautiful site of Gushing Green HC 125. As we go to a beautiful combination with Buxton Blue and Blue Danube, we have that creativity that has the need for a creative thinking that's becoming one of the most important skills that companies are. I'm sorry, they're still typing. Did you still hear that?
Sorry, I don't
Yes,
know who
I
it is,
do.
but whoever is typing, please stop and put yourself on mute. Thank you.
It got louder on my side. I apologize.
Oh my goodness. I'm going to email. I'm so sorry, everyone listening. We'll try to resolve this. Please continue, Annie.
That's great. It's all good. So additionally, as we see here on this beautiful combination, there's a greater appetite and acceptance for thinking out of the box. Having this great combination gives that demand of around the quality of the content that we consume. It's also increasing with a higher expectation with around creativity. We see this as being brought into the curriculums for the Generation Z student with a strong focus on STEM courses, since the future direction is based on new creative thinking to advance not only in technology, but in society as a whole. With the interest in creativity being a connection to the home and being encouraged to be creative in the home, whether through color, decor, or architecture, we can express our creativity in the home through a new color combination, or even simply the braveness to enhance and embrace these colors. Unexpected color pairings complement others' aspect of the home while keeping us on our toes, and the way the color is used today is evolving. As we go into self-expression, this has been one of my favorite combinations, and have already spec'd this quite a bit because of how it truly gives a beautiful creativity of self-expression, whether it needs that increasing and an acceptance while expanding on our thinking. Personalization has become an expectation, which challenges not only companies, but finds ways to allow customers to express their needs, their tastes, their personalities through the products that they consume, and experiences ways that they can engage in. This is particularly important with an unparalleled access to the information that we have at our fingertips. So self-expression has become a part of American Dream with a strong need for individuality. Today, we can create our personal or curated self-brand through various mediums of impact different aspects of our life. Specific to design, self-expression is hugely important and opens up an exciting possibilities for how we bring colors and materials into the home and to our projects. Tied together with creativity, new materials offer up new ideas that can be used to express personalities and styles, taking a giant leap away from the rules of the past and even the judgments that might have stifled our willingness to express ourselves previously. As we see here, First Light 2102-70 with Thunder AF 685. As we go into comfort, our homes serve that refuge from the chaos of our daily life, which is a strong focus for us in 2019, where we sought to shut out the noise, making our homes into cocoons where we can relax and enjoy our surroundings. This sentiment remains alive and well for 2020, but the color is making its way back to the home. Flexibility in the home of the future allows us to accomplish many things. We want a place to rest, a place to entertain, a place to make memories with our friends and our family, and a place to work, among other possible expectations for our home. The home becomes a place for well-being, making colors a great feeling and materials with very important tactily. Bringing a sense of warmth to the home through surface and colors help us achieve that comfort and a need that is yearned for a time of upheaval and insecurity. Comfort is also achieved through creating meaningful spaces. Today, the attachment of the home has changed with the younger generations renting and moving frequently with a sense of permanence had by an earlier generation. Despite the need or allure of mobility, comfort can still be achieved in the home, with color being a key factor, even in minimalist interiors. As we see here, beautiful crystalline with white heron AF 485 with OC 57. As we go into security, similar to privacy, security is extremely important in the light of the data we share and the data that's being collected. We look to feel secure with technology playing a huge role in our daily activities. Because of the emotional need for security, there's often a natural inclination toward the colors of the approachable and familiar, even colors as we associate it with trust. Not only is security the technological sense immensely importantly, but also as pertains to our environment. For instance, we feel the need to secure or protect our environment from harm, continuing with the necessity to consider how our decisions and choices impact the world of tomorrow. This is reflected in the home with an interest in bringing the nature indoors, furthering how we live in the color and how the colors we select provide that sense of security. Not only is it an emotional need for security, but it's also that need to maintain our consumer with that trust and privacy, to not have that lack on online services, and that need to have that humane in technology. As we see here, Windmill Wings 2067-60, Oxford Gray 2128-40, and again, White Heron OC 57. As we go into imagination, where there's a time where we experience our desire over obtaining things, our imagines take away that center stage, allowing us to dream again. By taking part in more experiences, our imaginations are put to use, allowing us to express our styles, our taste, and the opportunity to bring a range of influences to the home. The use of our imagination helps us to trigger innovation and paves the way for future, removing the obstacles that too often hinder our progress. This need is closely linked to the creativity, furthering the importance of the thought and the idea of freedom as we move into the future. We can imagine where we want to be and how we want to live, setting a change in motion. So how does that color play a role in exercising the imagination? Perhaps it is finding the ways to break down the old rules around the color by experimenting and thinking in new ways. Perhaps it's a way of creating unexpected colors and combinations, or by even bringing the color into a room that actually diverse from the rest of the home. But it's also about allowing the imagination to run a little wild. As we see here, beautiful Buxton Blue, HC149, Blue Denaboo. Everyone calls it different. I messed up on that one already. 2062-30 and White Heron OC 57. As we go into authenticity, when more information in the palm of our hands, we can research and better understand what companies stand for. And while gaining insight into the ideas and thoughts of people around the world, the underpinning of this incredible amount of information is determining how we're going to understand to be authentic. There is a need for authenticity that allows us to trust and make informed decisions on everything from what we want to believe to what we want to bring home. As individual expression becomes important, there is a need for authenticity to be a part of a building a person's or personal brand. There's an expectation that there should be a consistency between online and live persona, helping us to grab that authenticity of a person, place, or even a brand. When there is a disconnection, we question whether that authenticity may become dismissive, and as we look for the truth or trust. In terms of the home, authenticity is expressed in a number of ways. We look for real authentic materials, opting for them to become more reliable natural resources as we want to understand the makeup of the items we live in. Personal style is a way to complement our authentic selves, aiming to true our taste, create a home that feels authentic to who we really are. By opting for authenticity in a home, we further sense that we're creating an enclave or a safe space where we can be ourselves again and free from judgment. So we see here, White Heron, OC57, First Light, 2102-70, and Beautiful Golden Straw, 2152-50. As we think about our community and the way we interact with others, it's a key component in our lives, and there is an expectation that our homes will help support this need. The home is now a hub for all activities and a place where all generations can come together. It must adapt to work and play while being a place of unity where meaningful connections are built. Since we are so connected into the digital world, there's often a void when it comes to human contact. To reverse those feelings of isolation that come only from interacting virtually, smaller communities form through shared interests spanning the age groups that enables people to interact and nurture their social well-being with others who share that interest or belief. This interest in community also influences the designs of homes and communal living spaces. More homes and buildings are designed with community in mind, with more area given to shared spaces where people can truly interact and build relationships. More people are looking to alternative living situations that move away from the prior American dream, but put ownership at the forefront. For instance, we are apt to see experimental or alternative living situations such as co-housing and other community-based situations as we move into the next decade. From a color perspective, the palette of 2020 offers something for everyone in a community or in a living situation that can be tailored to the individual. To illustrate, in a home where multiple generations live together and engage in different types of activities, the color we surround ourselves should be meaningful in terms of our taste and our preferences. The 2020 palette offers ideas that can work for different people in unique ways, but all the colors come together in pleasing palette. You see here Windmill Wings 2067-60 and Oxford Gray 2128-40. Optimism. While we look into that certainty for what the future holds, there is a sense of optimism and a hope for brighter days ahead. Finding small moments of happiness and bringing that color back to the home signals a move toward brighter days. There is a huge interest in innovation and making improvements, whether it's scientific developments or finding ways to just simplify our lives, working its way into uplifting outlook where we are a time it's possible to inspire and facilitate that change, something that our society is craving. Younger generations express their confidence into the future more so than prior generations. Our priorities are shifting in a positive way with a strong focus of things that are meaningful and matter to our well-being emotionally and socially, driving us to a bright new decade with a very rosy outlook. So we see here, White Heron, OC57. So as we summarize, through the time, colors have gone in and out of popularity with a close connection with the social climate and advances in science and technology. Generally speaking, periods of our unrest are associated with muted colors, while eras known for optimism mindset include a bright or upbeat in our colors. The Benjamin Moore Color of the Year, First Light 2102-70, a soft, rosy hue blooming with potential. First Light 2102-70 is a sophisticated and warm blush that transcends styles and seasons, delivering a flattering glow while creating an ideal backdrop for a room. The colors selected for the Color Trends 2020 palette are a thoughtful mix of hues that are easy to live with, easy to love, and an appeal to all generations and styles and preferences. The palette is a fresh and airy, saturated, and dramatic. It's all playing with color to design a space that expresses personality and individual styles. This concludes our presentation, and thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much, Annie. I really appreciate your time. And now, everyone, it is time for the Q&A. A reminder, if you have something you'd like to ask about this presentation, please use the sidebar on the right side of your screen, and you can type in any questions, and I will read them out. We're getting a lot of thank yous on here, Annie, but no questions yet.
That's so sweet.
Don't be
Come
shy.
on. Somebody has a question.
Lots of thank yous. Yeah, everyone loves the colors. This was great.
It's a great combination. I love the colors. I think the First Light and the Thunder is one of my favorites. But what surprised me was how they put an older color like HC, the Gushing Green. I can't even think about it right now. My notes are totally away from me. Gushing Green HC 125 with Crystalline. I thought that was an incredible combination that I often wouldn't even have thought of, but I love that one, and the Buxom Blue and the Blue Danube, which I keep saying wrong.
So someone has asked for it. They think the First Light is lovely, but do you find people are using it in common areas?
Yes, we just had, I'm actually at one of our retailers, and grandmother actually came in for not only her grandchild's room, but for their bathroom, for the main hallway bathroom. So it will complement, because they're also using Shaker Beige with also another grays. So they are definitely loving, and it was because of the product that they also used, which was a tile that had gray and pink in it.
Okay, let's see. So another few questions coming in. Is there a sample card available with these specific colors?
It is in your preview colors, and funny enough, when you look at this combination, it almost gives you a mauve tone, and that's why we always say that you want to individualize from the actual chips that you get from our stores. When you individualize it, you can really see the representation of the color better. But it does have its own color charts, but you can always go to your, a question I would ask everyone, does everyone know who their ADR is? And if not, you can always go to your ADR to help you set up your sampling account, because we do have sample to order through our website. Benjamin Moore has an incredible website designated for architects and designers. So I would definitely go to that and register, whether it's on Orderfront or to our new site, Material Bank, where you can get 8x9 sizes free overnight as long as you order it before midnight. Great. And that would be the best way to get it.
Great. Okay, let's ask another question. How do you see this palette being used in commercial spaces?
Absolutely. Absolutely, with all the gray that they have, because every commercial that I'm seeing has a particular brand. Um, and not to keep bringing it up, but Benjamin Moore has a fantastic YouTube page, and there was one particular designer that loved pink. Pink was her branding, and she not only used it on her walls, but then she went back and covered it with one of our newest products, notable, which is a clear dry erase paint. So yes, I definitely see it in commercial spaces because of not only branding, but how it can be brought in as branding.
Mm-hmm. Sort of similarly related, you've referenced a move towards communal style living and a trend to allocating the most areas of the home to areas where people gather. Do you think this will extend to using a mix of various colors within one room, as many of your slides showed?
I think the palette absolutely shows that, not only with crystalline, which is usually used for a spa area or the feel of a spa, but you see all the different colors, like white heron has been one of our most popular off-whites. So when you put that whole combination, whether it's the golden straw or the Oxford gray, it's a great combination that really can be set, and it's because of product. That's what our amazing color team goes through the year. It's not they just picked it out of a hat. They truly research this and travel to see what's actually happening not only in our industry but global. So I think it has an expression that it truly will be brought out in many different ways.
All right, I think we've got time for one more. This is about what colors are you seeing in kitchens, and what color do you think would be best for the transitional kitchen trend?
The one thing I'm really seeing more than anything is how it is a true trend of white with not only navy but black, deep greens, and then an accent of the gold. It's not a fad. It truly is a trend that has been with us for a few years, but we see it more and more with not only in KBA, we see it throughout the market, how it's the white with bringing out that beautiful pop of color, whether it's a navy or black. Is staying with us, and it stays with, I think it'll be with us for a few more years.
Great. All right. Well, I think that is all the time we have for today, Annie. So on behalf of ASID, I want to extend a big thank you to you and Benjamin Moore, our national industry partner, as well as all of those participants on the call for this week's webinar. We look forward to seeing you again at our next Partner Spotlight webinar presented by The Color Hive on December 4th at 3 p.m. Eastern. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Thank you.